And that's going to do a standard intense in-map scan. So you want to get this captured, that's good. That'll suffice for your lab, for question number 5. Alright? But now that we know the IP address, okay, as that scan is going through, uh-oh. Oh, is it MSF scan? Oh, okay. Guess that is wrong. Here we go, let's do that. So, there we go. Now we have the in-map scanning will be better. So as that's going through though, we can start setting up our target. So let's go over here and define another target. We'll call it metasplitable. So we're going to create a new target. Put its IP in there. Okay. Everything else we can kind of keep default. Create. Here we go. Metasplitable 2. Now let's go to tasks. And we'll create a new task. This time I'm not going to do the wizard. I'm just going to do it kind of different here. Select the right target. Make sure you select the right target. Okay. Scanner default, full and fast. That's fine for now. And create. There we go. Is that complete here? There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. So now the scan's complete. Great. We know it's a Linux box. Woo! Alright, as did our task creation. So now we can go find our task. Hey, there's a new task. We can go ahead and kick that off. Do that scan. Start running. Now it'll take, 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. Hopefully not too terribly long. Alright. So we are well on our way. Okay. So number 1, all you need to do is do a ping test, show me that you found the target in some way, some fashion. We're doing the OpenBOS scan right now. We did number 5, we did perform an MMAP scan. So I'm going to come back to number 3 in a minute. Find a web page being served for Metasplitable 2. So we know the IP address, right? 192.168.225.133. What are some ports that a web page may be hosted up on? 80, 443, 8080. Alright? So let's just kind of shift gears here, and instead of trying to use one of these automated tools, let's use just a browser real quick. Alright? And if you've done everything right, you can just use your own host computer. Yeah, we can hit that guy from our own host computer. So we don't have to get creative. We don't have to take additional resources out from Kali. We can just bring up our own browser. Woohoo! Looky there. There's a web page. There's also links to other web pages. Huh. That's kind of cool. Alright. We could also go back to our scan, as our scan is going through, our in-map scan, through Armitage. We can go back through here and look at, see what ports we found. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got there, oh, port 80, well, we found that. RPC bind, 53. Yeah. 2049. 2121. That's an unconventional port for FTP, isn't it? Hint, hint, hint. MySQL. That's good for number 7, by the way. Okay. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of good ones here. But let's just stick with Apache JServe. So we could try to bring up Apache Tomcat on 8180. Let's see what that is. How do we look at a specific port from a browser? Colon, and then the port number. Woohoo! Alright. Let's go ahead and just look at this one here real quick. And let's just kind of hit OpenVOS with this. So OpenVOS you can find in applications under web application analysis, OWASP ZAP. And the first time you run it, you'll have a question of how you want, a license agreement, a EULA. They'll pop up. Just accept that. Don't read it. Don't worry about it. Like everything else you come across on the internet, right?
Anybody actually read that?
I'm sure there's somebody out there that does, because there's somebody that actually had to write them.
If there's money involved, they'll read them.
What's that?
If there's money involved, they'll read them.
Yeah, that's called lawyers.
Well, sometimes it's the first person to report this gets, X number.
That's right, yeah.
All right. So when you come, do you want to persist the ZAP session? You want to say yes, I want to persist this session with name based on the current timestamp. So that first one right there at the top. All right. And then when she comes up, just go ahead and paste it in there. No, I can't. So 192.168.225 colon 8180. Woo, looky there. And it'll go and go and go and go and go and go. And you can kind of keep track of it, kind of from the alerts. Alright, so it's got a couple of mediums already. A lot of, a lot of X-frame issues. Application error disclosures. So I'm really just looking for you to kind of find something with this. There's also, you see on the current scans there, over here, the mediums, the lows, the highs, etc. Okay. So that'll go through, and what we call spider, it'll crawl your entire directory structure, look at all the images you have, all the text, all the pages, everything. Okay? Everything. Now, this is really good for web developers to kind of look at how their web page is interacting with the web server that they have it set up on. Okay? And 9 times out of 10, typically, web developers are not going to really write bad code in their application. 9 times out of 10, I left myself some wiggle room. Okay? Where they run into problems is web developers does not equal web administrators. Alright? So setting up Apache, setting up CIS, setting up Tomcat is way different than building and writing a web page, a web application. Alright? And a lot of times, that application, the web server component, is where you run into a lot of vulnerability issues. Okay? And especially how the code on the back end, a web.config file in IIS, your web session file in Apache, how they're interacting between the web server and the web page and any outside call, any outside interaction, that's where you're going to run into problems. And things like OWASP Zap, and even better, which we'll learn in a couple weeks, Burp Suite, running as a proxy, running that through your own browser will help you find a lot of those vulnerabilities. Okay? Because that's a lot of information. Oh, we got a high. Oh, God, I see this. Hold on. That's bad.
You weren't expecting that?
No, actually, I wasn't. I actually have not scanned 8180 here in a while. Path traversal. Woo! The path traversal technique allows an attacker access to files, directories, and commands that potentially reside outside the web document root directory. The attacker may be able to manipulate a URL such a way that the website will execute or reveal the contents of arbitrary files anywhere on the web server. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. All right, you kids can have fun with that one. Oh, and there's like 10 of them. Okay, good times, good times. Okay, so that kind of, I'm just looking that you capture this. If you want to use this as a potential attack vector, better. All right, last but not least, what I'm going to cover tonight. See how we're doing on our OpenVOS scan. It's requested. Oh, I never. Oh, no auto. Come on. 62% done. That's pretty quick. Alright. Well, one of the things it's going to tell you is that there is a specific vulnerability. So we've done our scan. Oh, we haven't done our find attacks. Find attacks. Let's take a look at this real quick. And I'll run through. Back. So it looks like we have a twiki cross-site scripting command execution vulnerability. Woohoo! End of life detection for the OS. Check for rec cd service, MySQL, MariaDB weak password. Ooh. Hint for number 7. I don't know how many more breadcrumbs I can give you guys. Also PHP info. That's good for number 7 too. Okay? So, Unreal IRC-D authentication spoofing vulnerability. This is only partially through, but there's actually a number 10 for Unreal IRC. It hasn't percolated up here yet. Alright? This is kind of the easy way to attack this guy. So if you go to, there's IRC, Unreal IRC 3281 backdoor, first connection, make sure your IPs are right, look like it. Now notice I don't ask you to dump hashes or passwords with this. It's a little bit harder in Linux. It can be done. If you want to try, I'd like to give you bonus points, but I'm not.
Aw, why not?
All right. You know what? Challenge accepted. All right, I tell you what, and you can record me on this. I have to just help me remind to remind the other class. All right, because I don't have it on this lab. But if you can dump the hashes from the shadow file and crack them, I'll give you extra 10 points. Okay? If you can dump them and crack them. Okay, now I gotta go see if you can do it.
On the Linux machine?
On this machine. Not the Windows machine, I've already showed you how to do that.
Well, it did say shadow.
I said the shadow file.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to get that in Linux.
Yeah. And if you can't get the shadow file on that.
Well, yeah, you can get to it because now that I've cracked into it, here's your hint. There's your shell. Interact. Okay? CD, whack, etc. Oh, that's right. Cat.
Whatever it is.
Alright. Well, there you go then. Oh, shadow. I forgot. I've been working on our health systems all day. That's why. No, it's still there. PASSWD.
Are you meaning to type in JCat? Cat.
Huh?
Did you mean to type in JCat?
No, I was just trying to type in cat. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So there you go. There's there. Yeah.
I already know what the password should be.
Huh?
I already know what the password should be, so it's not hard to crack.
Well, no. Show me that you cracked the hash.
Just show the word list of one.
All right. So that gets you probably through what? 50–60% of the lab.
I was going to cook myself that way, but okay.
Okay. So
Yes, that would work.
questions? Another fun weekend for you all. For some of you. Source force, not CIS. 873 megs. 874 megs. And I hope I'm not here all day. 4 minutes, not bad. Not nearly as fast. Alright. So anyway, as that's downloading, to implement it is pretty simple. You're just going to do a file open and say that you copied it, etc. You'll notice that the steps are vaguely similar to Lab 1. Alright, you're just getting a different type of target. I make you go through a lot of the same steps. Why? Because learning by repetition is a good thing. Make sure they're both on the same network, so put them both in VMnet 1. Or honestly with the Metasploitable one, because it's, you know, not really, it's free and open out there. If you put them both on the NAT network, that's okay too. I'm not really worried about that. Do an OpenBOS scan, get that PDF, gain root access via the Unreal IRC backdoor. I'll show you where that is, how to get through that in Armitage, really easy. Find a web page, and we're going to start working with OWASP. OWASP is the Open Web, oh gosh, I'm going to look stupid. The Open Web Assessment and Scanning Platform, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It's an open source tool that basically does kind of like what InMap does, but for web pages.
Can we use burp?
You can if you want to, but we're going to get to burp later on. Absolutely you can. I'm not going to stop. Run a brute force on, oh, I'm sorry. Do an InMap scan this time explicitly through Armitage. Run a brute force password cracking utility against one of the ports. It could be the FTP port, it could be the SSH port, it could be the Telnet port, it could be a lot of different things. Alright? Just try it. There's a lot of different brute force utilities you can use. Number 7 is the one that's hard. Okay? This is the one you have to do a little bit of research on. This is the one that challenges everybody. Alright? And that's gaining PHP MyAdmin access. Alright? Let me give you a little hint. SQL. SQL injection. Alright? You can get it. Alright? Let's see. You can gain access via our login very simply. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. Well, quite honestly, you can probably guess the password. You can, or you can try brute force against it as well. Samba is running as a service on the machine. You need to exploit Samba. Alright? So, everybody remembers that MS 09-050 against the Windows box? This is very similar, eerily similar, but on a Linux box. Same port, same protocol, essentially. This is why port 445, whoops, sorry, that slipped. This is why Samba in both Windows and Linux, you know, is one thing that as a security professional on the defense side, you're always watching. You want to curtail that access all the time. And last but not least, we're going to write up a report. Right? Just like in Lab 1, talk to me about the vulnerabilities you found. Right? How can you, at least 5 of them, how can you make it better? Don't make it better. Right? Don't patch Metasploitable. It's kind of a fruitless effort. Right. Oh, hey, we're done. Cool. Alright, so once I've downloaded it, I'm just going to transfer it to my virtual machine folder and extract it. Now take a minute or 2 or less. Alright, so there it is. space. And go into VMware Workstation, file open. Virtual machines, exploitable. Alright. Now from here, you can see it's on the NAT network. That's fine. You keep it there. You have to make sure that you put your Cali box on the NAT network too. Okay. Like I said, with this lab, you can be on NAT. That way you have access to the internet. Perfectly fine. Because, if you compromise Metasploitable or somebody else compromises Metasploitable, guess what? It's already been compromised 50 million ways to Sunday, so it's no big deal. Alright, so we're going to power Metasploitable on. If you get this message, you're going to say, I copied it. And you turn on your Cali box at the same time. Okay. Go. Okie doke. Open up the terminal. Let's find this thing. Find Metasploitable. So, find out where we are. We're on the 225 network. Okay, same thing. We can probably just run a quick in-map or ZINMAP scan if we want to. Oh, hey, we have to do an in-map scan, don't we? And one of the things we're supposed to do. See, this is why it's good to read through the assignment. If you're working on a project, read through the scope before you get started. That way you can combine some of your actions together. So, okay, well if I got to do an in-map scan through Armitage, and forget using ZINMAP, let's just get Armitage up and running here.
Why do you want to use Armitage?
Just another tool to use, get used to it, try something different. Should be the same result roughly. Alright, while I'm here. Okay, and let's just crush the processor while we're at it. Start getting stuff set up. There we go. I'm starting Armitage. I'm starting Greenbone. This is going to run in the background. All right. Greenbone's going to start up here. Go. A lot of waiting. I was telling my 467 class, in my 25 years, I probably have spent 12 of them waiting on, progress bars.
Let's be able to not take 100.
Right? All right. So leave that guy there, it's no big deal. Or I can right click, take the host and remove it if I want to, but no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and go over to hosts and do an in-map scan, and I can just do a quick ping scan of that 225 network. Right, just like that. Same thing I did previously on Lab 1, but with ZenMap, I can do here. Ooh, looky there. Scan complete. Wow, fast. Wow, got a lot of stuff. Well, let's see here. I'm 129. I know that. How do I know that? Because when I did in my if config, I see that I'm 129. Alright? So we then have 133 and 254. Well, 254 is going to be my machine, part of my host stack. 133 though is a great candidate, so I'm just going to take these two out. I don't need them. And now I can scan this just from a right click.